How's it going, everyone? It's Rustbud Collector here, back with another Jazwares World of Halo 4-inch scale action figure, this time with another multiplayer Spartan, the Spartan Anubis. This is part of Series 6 from the World of Halo line. I was lucky enough to track down 3 of the 6 figures from this wave at a Target. I had to drive like an hour and a half away just to get to that Target. I really don't have any around me. So unfortunately, with lines like this that typically only pop up in stores, it's a bit harder for me to get them. But I finally did, and I have 3 of the figures. This is the first one we're reviewing, just because, honestly, it's kind of my favorite. I'm not going to lie. I've always loved the Anubis armor, and finally having it in figure form, kind of a huge deal for me. Now, because of that, I did take this figure out of the packaging before I had a chance to do any reviews, so you're not going to see the typical, like, ripping it open or anything like that. But I do have other figures still on the card, at least until I have a chance to review them. So this is what we're looking at for Series 6 packaging. We now have a bubble sticking out from a cardboard card, very similar to other toy lines, and in fact it's very similar to what Jazwares has done with the Fortnite line. I have no problem with the change. In fact, this is a very sleek packaging design. I love the look of the trees and then the halo ring extending into the background there. It looks really, really awesome, actually. I probably will try and get another Anubis Spartan on card and keep that one in my carded collection. Small as it is, I do like to have a few figures, especially ones I really care about, on card. If we spin it around to the back here, we can see all 6 figures from this line. Now, unfortunately, I was not able to find Atriox, the Halo 3 Marine, or Spartan Buck, so I still have to track those down at some point. In fact, I wouldn't mind tracking down multiple of this Marine, but I think that's pretty much the goal for everybody. It's a very popular one. It's a really cool figure, and I think that that's the one that will be the hardest to find from this wave. But yeah, today we're taking a look at the Spartan Anubis. I have the Skirmisher and Master Chief from Halo 5, so we'll be looking at those later on down the line. And for a quick comparison, here's what the packaging used to look like. This has been the standard from Series 1 through Series 5, and now with Series 6 we're getting this all-new packaging design. I wouldn't mind it if they kept changing it, every couple of waves you get a new packaging design. They have some really talented designers in their packaging department, and I love this style, but I also really love this style. So that was the packaging, but of course the most important thing is what was in the packaging. And like I said, this is probably my favorite Mark 7 Spartan design from Halo Infinite, so really, really excited to have this in figure form. This figure comes with a Cinder Shot, this time cast in gray with some really nice silver detailing. The previous Cinder Shot included with the Elite Ultra was cast in black with the same silver paint app, so it's cool to see some variation here. As with most of the weapons in this line, it does have a little peg there that allows you to attach it to the Spartan's back, allowing you to give the figure another weapon from your collection if you so choose. And that stays on there very nicely. You're not going to just shake it off or just, brush into it and it just falls off. It has a very sturdy hold. Now, as for the Spartan figure, it is here on the Mark 7 body that we've seen several times before, but there are some very interesting and noteworthy changes that have been made to this character. Of course, we have this really nicely sculpted Anubis helmet that is brand new for this character. We also have a retooled chest here with these attachments. Please don't ask me to name them because there are just too many and I don't know all the different names. But yeah, it's unique. We have not gotten this chest attachment yet. But what really, really sets this Spartan apart from the other Mark 7s is that we have brand new shoulder pads and we have brand new knee pads. With the previous Spartans, they all had the same knee pads and the same Mark 7 shoulder pads. This time we have a brand new sculpted shoulder pad on there. I, again, could not tell you the name of it specifically, but it does look very nice. It's just good to see some new variations with the characters because these are multiplayer Spartans and, it's all about customization with the Halo games, and you swap around your shoulder pads, your knee pads, your chest plates, all that good stuff. So it's great that we're seeing some new changes to the Mark 7. Now, personally, in terms of the World of Halo line, I think the Mark 7 body is tied for my favorite alongside the Master Chief, kind of the Mark 6 upgraded armor. Those 2 figures stand out to me with really good articulation and really good sculpt work. For a quick comparison, here he is next to the Master Chief himself. As you can see, there is a slight height difference here, and that is actually accurate to the game. Master Chief is slightly taller than the new generations of Spartans. And these figures just look so awesome on the shelf together. Pretty soon here I need to put together a World of Halo tour where I showcase all the different figures I have from this line because Really, it is impressive how many Spartans we've gotten just in the first 6 waves of this line. Now, something I've really been wanting to do is this, showcasing a full lineup of all the Spartan Mark 7s that we've gotten from the World of Halo line. And so far, there are a total of 5. We have the Wave 1 Mark 7 in this white pattern. This guy is super nice for customization. I highly recommend getting him if you can find him on clearance, because you can never have too many, and it's super easy to paint this guy into all sorts of different armor coatings. Then for a time, this one was my favorite, the Spartan Gungnir that came with the mission packs. He came out in 2 separate mission packs. One was an Amazon exclusive. Great figure, I absolutely love it. But when the Spartan Sealox came out, this one took the crown for my favorite. He came with the Gun Goose. It's an absolutely amazing figure. I love the color pattern with this like light green and dark blue. It looks so, so cool. And then from there, we got the Spartan Cavallino in Wave 3 with this really interesting kind of turquoise and bright orange color pattern. It looks amazing as well. And each one of these gave us something new. We got a different helmet and a different chest plate with each character pretty much. And then everything else was pretty much reused, though we did get the additional dagger on these 2 Spartans in particular. But now that we are here with the Anubis, we finally got a new helmet, torso, shoulders, and knees all on one figure, which is absolutely amazing. Now, all of these figures are super cool, and again, the Mark 7 is my favorite, so really all of these kind of fall really close together in terms of ranking. But I have to say that these 2 right here, the Sealox and the Cavallino, are pretty much tied for first place. Their paint apps and weathering far exceed these other 3, and even though I really love the Anubis helmet, it is my favorite helmet, the armor coating paint apps here are just next to none on these 2 particular Spartans. But regardless, this is an amazing lineup of characters, and of course we have the various Mark 5 variants that have come out. You could pretty much put together your own like Team Slayer diorama just with these characters right here, and it's so, so cool. And finally, really quick before we jump into the articulation, the other thing that's very unique about this Spartan, besides all the new armor elements, is that he is the first Spartan to have a gray undersuit rather than a black undersuit. All the other 4 of the Mark 7s have a black undersuit. This guy has a cast gray plastic undersuit. And once again, that just makes him a little bit more unique from the other Mark 7s. It's really cool. Now then, as for articulation, we have a pretty much standard figure articulation that we can come to expect with these characters. But let's go over it. We have a hinge and swivel up at the head, so you can swivel side to side. You can get it back to there and forward to there. Hinge and swivel at the shoulder, allowing you to rotate all the way around. Hinge up to just under 90. That shoulder pad being a little bit more elevated does inhibit that. Hinge and swivel at the elbow, allowing you to bend in just under 90 there as well. And then hinge and swivel wrist with the in and out joint, and that in and out joint is repeated on the other arm as well. I still say that this right arm for the weapon holding should be an up and down joint, but really both are serviceable, so I'm not going to complain too much about that. There is a ball joint at the torso, giving you some side to side and forward and back crunch. Not much in ways of forward and back, but there is still some, so it's worth mentioning. Ball jointed hips, allowing you to go forward to there, back to there, and of course you can do the splits with this figure. Double jointed knees, allowing you to bend all the way to there, and then hinge and rocker at the foot, allowing you to point to there, forward to there, and side to side rock. All in all, the articulation is good for what it is. You can get all sorts of action poses with this character. He can hold his weapon pretty well, though I will say the cinder shot may be a bit bulky for this figure, especially with the way that his armor kind of pops out on the chest there a little bit. Though he still can hold it, and he can still shoulder it to eye level, allowing him to look down the line of sights, but giving him a smaller weapon from my collection feels a little bit more natural. All in all, this is a super rad Spartan figure to add to your collection. I'm really excited to finally have that Anubis helmet in figure form. Again, it is my favorite from the game, even though this figure does probably fall into second place in terms of my favorite World of Halo figure overall. But once again, I highly recommend getting this figure if you can find it. It does seem to be one of the more common figures to find from Wave 6. It seems like him and the Master Chief are kind of the ones that are more readily available on shelves. Again, I found this one at Target, and they seem to be the ones most commonly stocking Series 6 right now. Your mileage may vary, but good luck out there if you are trying to track these down or any other Halo figures. But that's where we're wrapping this video up, so let me know down in the comments which one of the Mark 7 Spartans is your favorite. I'll also link down in the description a playlist, and also at the end of this video a playlist of all my World of Halo reviews in case you want to go go back and watch any of the ones you missed. At this point, I am pretty much all in on this line. I love the characters, I love the ships and the vehicles that we're getting. It's just so great to get Halo figures in this scale that matches up with other toy lines. They work great for toy photography too, so if you want to see any photos that I've taken with these figures, the link down in the description will take you over to my Instagram where I post all of those there. But that is all for this video, so thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful evening, noon, or night, depending on when you're watching this video. And as always, I'll catch you all in the next video.